These are the two ferocious dogs that were in my possession.
When the carpet bid came back, it said there were pet stains throughout the house.
Plaintiffs Vicki Steffan and Ronald Ross claim the defendant let their rental property go to the dogs. They're suing for $3,338 for property damage. Defendant Ted Cohen claims he offered to clean and repair the property, but was told not to. He says he owes nothing.
What you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
I do.
Good morning, Judge.
Morning, Najee. How are you?
I'm doing well, Judge. Thank you.
Good.
This is case number 041 on the docket. Stefan and Ross versus Cohen.
Thank you.
You're
And
welcome, Judge.
Let me see what we have here. We have the plaintiffs Vicki Steffan and Ronald Ross. You are suing your tenant or former tenant for $3,338 for property damage. Why don't you tell me your side of the case first?
Back in the summer of 2017,
Yes.
Vicki and I had been looking for a retirement home in the Las Vegas area. My realtor called and said, I think I have a house you would like. And upon previewing the house, decided it would be perfect for our retirement, which would be in the future, probably somewhere from 2 to 5 years out. We decided to go ahead and move forward and buy the house now and make it a rental and then make it our retirement home in the future. So we proceeded with the purchase of the property, and I was referred to a property management company, and they found my tenant, Mr. Cohen, for me and did the paperwork and did the background check.
What happened now?
He started his lease in September of 17, and the lease ended in March of 19. At the end of the lease, we were still not ready to move forward to use the home, so I contacted Mr. Cohen and asked him if he would...
Dr. Cohen, by the way.
Dr. Cohen.
Dr.
Thank you.
Okay. Contacted Dr. Cohen and asked him if he would be interested in staying on for another 6 to 8 months, which he was positive about and replied back to me, yes, I would. And we finally agreed on end of November, December 1st for an extension. Originally, before I bought the house, it was in pristine condition. Everything was immaculate. And when we got the house back, not so much.
I had most of the dealings with Dr. Cohen at the time of his vacating the property. In September, we contacted Dr. Cohen, asked if we could come by, do some measurements for the house, and he said that was fine. We noticed that they had a new puppy. When we rented the home to Dr. Cohen, it was for one person and an older dog. He had put up dog gates in the kitchen to keep the dog out of the rest of the house, and they were bolted to the walls. And he said not to worry, that at the time that he vacated, the walls would be repaired, the patio would be repaired, and we didn't have to worry about it. Shortly thereafter, Your Honor, he asked us if we would be willing to extend the lease or shorten the lease because they were trying to find another place. We said we were sorry, but we would definitely not lengthen the lease, and to shorten the lease was not viable either because we expected the rent for November. He then asked, as a compromise, would we allow the November rent, the last rent, to be taken out of the security deposit. Ron was not in favor of it. I, like a good soul, says, okay, I trust Dr. Cohen. I think he'll leave the house in the order that he said he would. He promised at that time that he would repair the walls, the house would be cleaned, and he would shampoo the carpets. So then I asked him if he would allow a carpet estimator and a painter estimator to go in. I didn't know if we were going to paint or carpet, and he was willing to do that. And when the carpet bid came back, it said there were pet stains throughout the house. And so I sent that to him, and Mr. Ross, Ron here, said he did not want to have the November rent deducted from the security deposit because he felt uncomfortable with pet stains. What else would there be?
So to round this out, you're suing for what you say are damages that were left to your house when he moved out.
Correct.
Yes, sir.
So now the question is, what damage beyond the deposits was there?
This is disingenuous. Vicki stated, or Ron stated, that the house was left in pristine, or was, when they bought the house, was in pristine condition. Well, it was left in pristine condition when I left it. Now, can I offer some evidence, sir?
Yes.
These are the two ferocious dogs that were in my possession. Yes, we did have a puppy at the time. It's true, when we first moved into the house, they got a prorated rent. Let me go down to like the end of this. When Vicki and Ron had asked their quote-unquote carpet estimator and painter to come through, I specifically asked them if they wanted me to, number one, to the painter, do you want me to patch the holes and repaint? He said, no, we're going to redo that. And the same thing for the carpenter. And he said, no, they're changing the carpets. So we let it go. I also have an evidence, items number B through J, which shows the house and how it was left when I left. And also, one thing they didn't tell you, Judge, is that we had possession of the house in November of 2019. Vicki and Ron had hired a construction company to come in and to do some remodeling in the house. These people came in, they tore down walls, they took out windows, they put up new walls, they walked around the house. I was not told. Now, possession is 99% of the law, if I'm correct. Now, I was supposed to be told at least 24 hours in advance that these people were coming through. So my argument here, sir, is that many of the things that Mr. Ross and Vicki are going to talk about were done by the construction company and not by us.
November 2nd, Mr. Cohen notified our property manager that he was out of the house and notified her to
It doesn't matter. I still had possession of the house, Vicki, whether I was out or not out. Doesn't make a difference. I could have been on vacation.
to notify the utility companies and to put the utility companies' utilities in our name.
Not until December of 2019.
Not true.
Well, no, it is true.
Okay, Your Honor, you have copies of all the texts in the emails, and there is an email from Ted to Melissa that said, I am out of the house. Please transfer the utilities over to Ron's name.
Yes, in
And
December of 2019, not immediately.
so as far as I was concerned, he vacated the house. He was still responsible for the utilities, but he turned them off, so I went ahead and turned them on in my name. I did have a contractor come in and remove 2 windows in the master bedroom and
Okay.
1 window in the guest bedroom.
You have listed items, and the amount that you're suing for is $3,338. Some of those items you listed, it's virtually impossible at a distance, or even using my judgment, well, that is dirtier than it should be. There are some items that I do think are the tenant's responsibility. $300 for the homeowners association violations. You were living there at the time.
Yes, that was in dispute.
Your argument, I guess, is with the HOA.
Right.
The carpet replacement, the lease specifically states that if there is damage to the carpet, causing it to have to be removed, that should be taken care of by the tenant.
Excuse me, Your Honor.
If-
My understanding from the person who came from the carpet company, and when I asked him specifically if he wanted me to have this professionally cleaned, he said, no, it's being replaced.
Okay, hold on. It says here, if the tenant elects to add or replace a pet, an additional pet approval must be granted. So for the second dog, the landlord has to approve that. The tenant agrees to keep pet waste picked up from the yard regularly, agrees to be responsible for all damage done by pets, even if the cost of the repair exceeds the amount of the deposits on hand. I got $1,000 on the carpet replacement, $350 on the drapes. I'm going to give $250 on the holes in the wall, repairing the holes in the stucco from the dog gate, so it's not just in the wall, and the $300 on the homeowners association violations. I find for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,900.
I feel the judge was relatively fair. I think it was a little bit, I think he gave them more than they actually deserved for this.
Tenants have a responsibility, but owners have to bear some of it. even though they don't like the outcome of having to bear somebody else's mess.